everyone, Katie Skook here at Simple Life Pattern Company, and today we are starting our Pearl Sew Along. I'm really excited about this dress. It's one of my favorites, that little zipper and the beautiful neckline. So let's go ahead and get started for day one. You will need to print out your pattern pieces and you will need to pick out your fabrics as well. I'm doing two different versions. I am doing a tank top version with these beautiful fabrics. The light print will be my lining so you can see all the steps in contrasting fabrics. I'm also doing a sleeved version. So let's go ahead and get started on assembling our pattern pieces. Thanks for joining our Pearl Sew Along. You can follow along in our Facebook group as well at facebook.com/groups/SLPCO. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Simple Life Patterns. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe. The very first thing you need to do when you're assembling your patterns is to double check your 1-inch square. To do that, just lay your ruler right over this. I don't recommend using the tape measure rulers. Because especially starting at the 0, if you do it, start at the 1 and measure to the 2-inch. As you can see, my square is perfectly 1-inch square, so we can go ahead and get started. When you print out your pattern pieces, you will have a guide around it along with circles in the corners, and your pages will end up overlapping exactly 1 inch. So when I overlap it, if I go right here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So there is 1 inch of overlap. So that was the bottom of my paper right here, and that's the top of this one. So it's 1 inch overlap. This line right here will be directly on top of this line, and your circles will match up. Another handy little trick that I have installed on this is that your circles, mine didn't print out all the way. I have a new printer, so I printed a little bit off, but my square is right. So, but if this circle went all the way out to this edge right here, it would be exactly 1 inch wide, as you can see right there. So the circles are 1 inch, the pages overlap 1 inch. So once you have them laid across and matching perfectly, go ahead and take your tape. I always buy my tape around the holidays because it's cheap and I stock up for a year's worth. Okay, as you can see, we did that one. Now we'll go ahead and do the back bodice. We now have our front bodice, our back bodice, and our sleeves. The skirt pattern pieces are on the cutting chart, which I do have covered up because you have to buy the pattern to get all the other measurements. So we will go ahead and cut out our dress. This one is going to be my long sleeve version, so that will be my red dress. And I am going to go ahead and start by cutting 2 of the front bodice on the fold. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm going to show you a little trick to save on time. So this is going to kind of run into my tripod here, but you can kind of see. Okay, so I'm going to lay this right here. And I'm going to take my lining fabric and lay it on top as well. And I'm going to line up my folds. And because I am doing this, I can cut out my front bodice and my back bodice all at once, and the main and the lining, so it's a pretty handy little trick. I think I'm going to flip my fabric around and hopefully this won't fall down. Let me see if I can put it on the shelf. Okay. So just some fun little tips on how I make sewing just a little bit more efficient as possible. So my folds are lined up, except for this little piece. Okay, so once you have your folds lined up, you can go ahead and place your main or your front bodice along the fold. Oh, sorry, my microphone just fell. Okay, back in business. Okay, lay that right there, and then I usually just go ahead and take my back bodice and throw it right there. Because this is on the fold and your back bodice for this particular pattern is not. So you just need two mirrored of the main and two mirrored of the lining. You can just set it right there, and then you just need one of the main and one of the lining on the fold. These are not my fabric scissors, so give me 1 second. Okay, let's not forget our sleeves. If you're adding sleeves, you can go ahead and take your fabric, and I cut them both out at the same time. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fold that just like so, and place this part along the fold line, and cut it out. So now we have our sleeves, and we have our front bodice pieces, our main and our lining, along with our main and lining pieces for the back bodice. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.